All right, we have some who want to ask a question. John, who begins?
Okay. Helen. Oh, you kind of mute yourself. Hang on. Here we go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, dear one. Where do we begin?
Patricia, I got you added too. Helen, go ahead. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear.
Um, so the first thing I want to talk about, there's two things. And the first one, um, last week, I had this, I really felt strongly to go to visit this event where the chief of staff of the Ravens um, was speaking. And so now I think I'm going to create this opportunity where I can talk to him about this idea of me like being kind of an NFL. I have this idea for a TV show or a podcast where I call NFL games for people who don't like football, like me. So partners of, and Harry thinks like maybe the show needs to be, why is he screaming at the TV screen? Because Harry sits in front of the TV and is always yelling, either in joy or in agony. And the idea is really similar to the movie script because it's bringing two people together who one person who likes football and the other person who doesn't, and you have to learn like, and I think a lot of it is about, you know, partners who don't understand, like, I'm not interested in football, but I learned it because Harry sits at the TV. And if I want to spend time with him during football season, I had to learn the game. And now I actually can explain it to other people. And so to me, it does the same thing as the movie, but just coming at it from a different perspective. And and originally I was hoping I could get this guy interested in the movie. And I realized that's why I went, because I thought it would be funny to have a Ravens football guy. He's the chief of staff, like involved in the movie, and he's young and he's Jewish and blah, blah, blah. But there was no opportunity to talk to him about the movie. It's too complicated. But when I told him about my idea, he really, really liked it. And so I think, I'm starting to outline it. Is it getting me off track? But I kind of see it as like if I can I think I'm doing the same thing, but not on like, instead of specifically on Palestine and Israel, I'm creating connection. I'm trying to create people who are in one silo to see the perspective of somebody in another silo. And if I can make that successful, maybe it's an easier way of creating like kind of name recognition where I could fundraise for the movie. But does it just get me down the wrong path? And if it doesn't, um, I have to, I want to put a proposal together and maybe put one or two episodes, like actually just film myself doing it. And I don't know. I'd love to get your feedback.
So, so the dreams that you have always come with the resources that your dreams are from your higher self, from your soul, from your spirit and God and goddess. So as you have dreamed this up, as you have even enrolled them already, hey, this is really fun. This would be fun to do. That's your universe telling you go forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
So as
Mm-hmm.
you let that in, oh, okay. I It's one thing to express myself. When I get a resounding yes, now what comes up?
For me, yeah, I don't want to get distracted from the movie, but the movie feels like I haven't gotten traction from I haven't gotten a resounding yes from anybody wanting to actually help me kind of produce it yet. I feel like 100% it's going to happen. So and I'm committed to it, but I just want to make sure I don't, um, like I get a lot of ideas and I don't follow through necessarily with them all the time. And, or, yeah,
So
I
then you
want,
want to look at, okay, the part of me that is warning me you're getting off track is a form of protection.
mhm.
So as you consider, okay, well, but is it true that I'm getting off track? Or is that just where I always go when I start creating new things? So this is a put it in the context of how do I create opportunity? Is it familiar to create many new things? And as you just said, well, I tend to I start things, but I don't necessarily finish them. Are we reflecting that correctly?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so that's who you are. The creative you is a very good initiator of energy. Now, when you start thinking about the fact that it's a thought, I never really finish everything. Is it completely true? Or are the
no,
things you do finish when you feel
no,
like, or when it's
I mean,
easy, or when
there's
it's required?
there's plenty of things I finish.
Yes.
It's
So as you put that aside as, well, that's not 100% true, and I really don't want to have that define my identity anymore, because it is something that can be used against you. You use it against you. You create somebody saying something about that, or you say it to yourself. It's a judgment. It's a form of shutting down. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So what if you lifted the judgment and let yourself be in the creativity a little bit longer than you usually are? What would come out of that? So as you have with the movie script, you see, you haven't set it down. You've continued to build on it in your own time, in your own way, at your own cadence. And what you have today is very different than what you had a year ago.
hmm,
So as you allow yourself, okay, there is something about fundraising that is triggering me. And I'm looking for creative ways to make it more fun. Trying to make it
yes,
fun, trying to get away from the dread, trying to make it easier.
yes,
So as you begin to put it in that arena, oh, I want it to be fun too. I don't want it to be drudgery. I don't want it to be hard. I don't want to bring up my not good enough. So the part of you that feels not good enough is not your spiritual adult self. So you may need to go be with the part of you that has lost or not accomplished or whatever, and heal that. As we say that, what happens? Is it easy to do that? Is it doable given the tools you have, the skills you have?
yes, yes, it's
Yes.
totally doable.
Yeah. And then when that part is in their reality, now you're free to have the fun with it. And as you're showing yourself, oh, I had intuited to go to this event. I thought it was going to be about the movie script, but actually, I have a new idea. There is an abundance of new ideas. And how wonderful is that?
Yes, it's fun. Yeah,
Yes. And in a creative world that requires new material all the time, is that a strength or a weakness?
it's strength.
Yes.
Mm,
So as you put it in that framework, then it gives you more confidence, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah,
And maybe I don't have to make it this or that. Maybe I can turn it over so that I can have fun with all of it. And I can even create more than what I've already come up with. Does that make sense?
yes.
So play with that
Mhm.
idea of expanding your image in that way, because you have been expanding your success cube. You have been expanding your image. And now you're finding that, oh, I can also do this one. I can be environment specific. If I talk to these people, I can come up with these ideas. If I talk with these people, I can come. There is no limit to what I can create. And that is intentionally fun. Does that help?
Yes. Yes. That's
Wonderful. And
awesome.
did that include the second question, or was there another?
No, the other question I have, so I had a healing session today with Daniel the healer,
Mhm.
and well, it was actually for Sandy, but since I was on with him, I said, "Can you check in with my thyroid and how's my thyroid doing?" And what he said was when he tuned into it, and I've gotten weird lab results, like the lab results, blood work doesn't make sense because there's things in the blood work that have shown that since some things are positive, I should have other blood results that are positive, and that's not what's happening. I'm getting some weird, wonky things. And so what he checked on was um, that from his perspective, my pituitary gland is sending messages to my thyroid saying you need to make more thyroid hormone, but my thyroid gland is not doing it. And what he says is that the receptors actually in the thyroid gland can't latch on to the message. And he said it's like in when you're diabetic, um, your your body can't. So he said, and so he said my thyroid is resistant to this thyroid um like the TPH that is coming in, but he couldn't figure out why. Is it not like why is the thyroid gland not accepting the messages from the pituitary gland to make more thyroid hormone? So he's going to kind of look into it, but I was wondering if you could give me any insight.
All right. So yes. Well, let's step back from the thyroid information for a moment and look at where are you getting the information from? Oh, I'm getting it from the lab results, from the blood work. Anytime there's it relates to family, patterns from the family. So as you look to see, okay, what shuts down my thyroid in the first place? What family issues would disconnect me from the connection to other parts of me? So as you see it more as a relay of communication. So what wasn't it safe to communicate? What wasn't it safe to be? What, you don't have to answer that out in this group, but as you think of your child, what wasn't it safe for her to be in the context of family? What did she have to agree to be instead in order to be safe, in order to survive? As you put it in those terms, then you kind of get to see that the thyroid served a protective function by disconnecting. Oh, I think I'll just disconnect. Then I'm not really needed here after all, am I? I don't really matter. It doesn't really, it's it's not going to please anybody. It's not going to get them to change. It's not going to, I'm not going to get my way. So I might as well just not do anything. Now, your child was a helper. So she was very effective. She even took on the role of the parent at certain points. But before she figured that out, what did she do instead? How did she exist before she came up with that new strategy of helping? Once she was old enough, once she was capable enough, there was a time when she was helpless, when she was very little, where she was an infant up to about just before 2, there was a very receptive state. So as you work with that imagery of, okay, my thyroid represents the part of me I decided was extraneous, wasn't going to have any impact, wasn't really needed. And now, as you have become the spiritual adult, you're wanting those aspects back. So we want you to do some visualization while we're talking with the others tonight in the energy of this group. We want you to see your shadow and your child the moment when she set something down. And you're going to see that your shadow picked it up and tucked it away for the one day when you need it. And then you're going to step in and say, I need that. Can I have it now? And your higher self's going to be there and say, yeah, it's time for you to retrieve that. And your dark shadow will restore that into you. And simultaneously into your little girl. And then all of you, as the shadow recedes, your higher self, you and the little girl will go into the new reality that you've created for her. Because now she's whole and complete. She can step into it easily. Doesn't need really any adjustment time. And she just blends with the girl that's already there. The one that's already having the fun, the one that has the innocence intact, the one that is free to love and be loved. Okay?
Okay. It's interesting you're saying that as well, because I have my high school reunion this weekend. And a lot of the wound, I mean, because it was boarding school, they're really more like family to me than uh, schoolmates, because I was 13 when I went off. And um, I felt like a lot of old wounds from that quote unquote family have gone away.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a very powerful experience this weekend. Um, so maybe I'll also do it with my adolescent just because it feels like it already lifted.
Yes.
And
Beautiful.
all right. Thank you, Tara.
Yes, we love you so. You're right on track. Wonderful. All right, John, who
All
is
right,
next?
Henry.
Hello, Tara. Thank you
Yes,
so
you're
much for
wonderful.
being here again.
Yes, where do we begin?
Well, the biggest thing last week really was during the coaching that I had a sense of my higher self like I've never had before, I think.
Yes,
I
beautiful.
just really, really felt them very, I felt very connected and very close um, and it was a wonderful, wonderful time and wonderful experience. And later in the day, because I asked to speak to John because I was have been in a difficult place, but and John was helping me see my way through that, and it seems to be, I'm trying not to say the word inevitably, but um, that I lost that feeling and lost that feeling of the connection. And also just seeing, last week we talked about love, and that was a sensational sharing and a sensational feeling of something different. And dealing with that love has been, my love friend went back to France, and I haven't been in contact with her, and we were going to be in close contact. It's almost a similar thing. There's something going on in the same sort of way as with my higher self, which could be very much a loving feeling. That and um,
So
my
so
morning.
we'll just intervene right here, and
Yeah,
then you can continue.
right, right.
Check in to see whether you assume you have to feel that way first before you engage, as though you have to be it first before you commune. So as you sort of loosen that up a bit and say, well, no, maybe I can just, even when I don't feel connected, maybe I can engage anyway, and then trust that that connection will be revealed in my being willing to engage.
Yeah, I
When
think
we
it's
say that, what comes up?
yeah. What comes up is feeling I've got to be in the right place, otherwise I'll make a mistake and it's all gone.
Yes,
But
yes. So
and
when you re-listen, we want you to take that statement
yeah,
and say, oh, that's the program.
yeah,
That's the program that keeps me safe.
yes, I have been.
I decided I have to wait. If I just wait, I can't make a mistake, because
Yeah,
I'll know. If I wait, I'll know more. And of course, you can never know enough really to make your lesser self feel safe enough. There is that greed that comes for, I have to know it all, and I have to know it perfectly, and I have to act on it perfectly. So you really get the sense of, oh, I might as well give up now. But that's a program to keep you safe, that to
yes,
halt your progress so that you don't get hurt. So some part of you got hurt, of course, the
hmm.
child or the adolescent reached for love and got hurt or got stopped. You might not have even actually gotten anywhere with it at those younger ages. You might have just reached for it as an emotion, and then the person turned away or shut you down or said something cold or crass or insensitive, and you were just devastated.
Yeah,
And in that state of devastation, the child or the adolescent made a decision. I better just wait. I better read the room. I better read their moods. I better be what they want me to be first. Then when I get to know them well enough, it'll be safe. And then I can reveal myself and I will eventually get the love. Except the problem with that is it's all based on the premise that you can know them well enough to get it right every time. And what you found, people are complex and they change constantly.
yeah,
Just when you think you got it right, they change again. It's the peacemaker dilemma. If I can just read them right, then I'll get it right. And then I'll finally get what I want. Now, does that sound like someone who's consciously creating their own reality?
well, no, absolutely, and that's the
Yes.
feeling I've been getting. And with my, I, I say my love friend because I don't want to say her name, but um, is I mean, when we were together in those times, it never felt as if there was any problem with making a mistake.
Yes.
I don't know how that came about quite, but it does.
But
It
that
was
is
just
true love. That is when you are truly in the love, the resonance of love. You are being loving, and there you're receiving love. You
right,
are accepted as you are and as you
right,
are not. And there is a flow, there is a beauty to it. And we understand that part of you says, but she's not here, so I can't have that. And we would like you to challenge that assumption,
yeah,
because you can be in the quantum, you can be in the more real and relive those experiences and even imagine new ones. And then you can call her and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. And I just wanted you to know how much you mean to me. Oh, I can't do that. Well, you can't do it if you're waiting for the right moment, the right sign, the right emotional state, can you?
No.
But when you let the foundation of the relationship that you already have, this isn't a fantasy relationship. This is a friendship. This is a
Yeah.
real person in your life, a soul communing with your soul,
Yeah.
who you really know you can trust already, even though you haven't known her very long. There is that timelessness. When souls meet, they recognize each other.
Mm.
You had a previous appointment, so to speak. And the appointment goes something like this. When you're at a point in your life where you're wanting to grow and you don't know how, I'm going to show up and remind you who you are.
Well,
And when you put it in that context, what do you know about yourself? Well, you also made that same commitment. I'm going to show up and I'm going to remind you who you are. And when you look to see what did she help you remember about yourself and what did you help her remember about herself? And don't make it a hierarchy. Well, I got much more from her than she could ever get from me, or vice versa. Some people say, oh, well, I was the one who was giving, and well, I don't think they got anything from me, but well, I can't really have that kind of impact. So you can see the better than, less thans ruin the moment, so to speak. They take away the love that is the essence of the interaction, of the giving and the receiving of love.
yeah.
And so when you really treasure those moments that you have had already, and if we let you know for certain, you will have many more of those moments with her in the future. What happens to the fear?
Well, the,
What's the first thing that happened there?
well, what I was thinking was when you were saying about what she did for me and what I did for her, we did talk about that. I've never done that with anybody before, and it just yes, I mean we expressed to each other what happened and where we where she took me and where I took her, and it just felt right, and so I'm hoping.
Well, let's put it in the
Which-
context of what we would like you to work on believing more and more.
Yeah,
That is not in the consensus, and that's that you have an optimal future self
right.
creating the present against the backdrop of the past. As you've heard
Yeah,
from Lazarus for many years, the future creates the present. So, what
yeah.
future must you to have that experience of love? How much,
Oh,
how magical, how beautiful, how much more are you in that optimal future that you is helping create the you right now having that experience. See, those moments didn't come from your past.
right,
If you try to link it to your past, it just doesn't make any sense.
right.
So link it to the most beautiful future you can imagine, the most positive version of you creating and co-creating reality.
Yeah. Yes, I hadn't.
And see how that works, and that'll help make new connections in your brain and delete some of those older ones that are oh so familiar but really unproductive,
Right.
that
Yes, I hadn't.
you've been frustrated around. And as you also put that same template on your relationship with your higher self, I had such a moment of realness. Think of it in terms of, yeah, my optimal future self is having impact on me already. I'm having moments that I didn't expect.
Right.
I didn't plan that one. I knew I would get value out of the group coaching experience, but I didn't expect that one. So
Right.
really let it
And you
in
was
that there's much more going on in that optimal future self having impact on you now than you could have imagined before. And now you can, because it's manifesting. You
yeah.
see, when you have an experience in the physical plane, it implies there is belief. There is a belief already, or you couldn't have had the experience. As you let that in, the beliefs aren't only about the negative stuff. Start applying that idea to the beautiful stuff that's happening. I must believe I'm worth loving, or my love matters, or I'm on track with creating a more beautiful future, or I wouldn't have had this experience. Does that help?
Yes. It's trying to believe it.
Well,
Were you actually saying
we
that
want you to tell yourself, what must I believe already for me to have that incredible experience? What
yes.
is my current framework that allows this much love into my life, in from my higher self, from this person I met? The world is a different place for me now. And I'm free to imagine and connect with the optimal future self who has a world where those sorts of experiences are part of everyday life, a
Yes.
life you love.
Yeah.
And so we want you to write more about that if you like to write. If you don't like to write, then just speak it out or record it somehow so that you can use it as a touchstone. This is what I must believe about love now. I've really grown. I've really changed. I'm at a new level. I expanded. Not who I was a year ago.
And yes. And and on the other hand, everything just seems so much more like. I mean, I just have these terrible mornings we talked about it again, but where I feel no connection with anything. I just feel I can't feel I can see my way through the day, and I can't feel
So
my.
we have mentioned a few times what Lazarus refers to as the template of unhappiness.
Mm,
There's also the template of loneliness. There's the template of chauvinism. When you
yeah.
combine all three, it's completely debilitating because the negativity is so uh, profoundly damaging.
Yes.
Now, when we say that, we are not saying that you are profoundly damaged and that you can't get yourself out of those states.
Yeah.
What we're saying is the impact of choosing those templates again and again and again can create a sense and a depth of conviction that you can't change. But it's just a choice away. It's just a
Yes.
pick.
Yeah.
I must have chosen the template of unhappiness this morning because I don't feel good. I don't feel joy. I don't have access to joy or love or anything right now. I must have chosen that template. I'm going to put it down. I don't really know how to put it down, but I'm going to disconnect from it. I'm going to say I don't want unhappiness anymore
Right.
because of the negative emotions I feel when I think the thought I am unhappy. So that's just at the surface, the obvious thought.
Yeah.
But when I think the thought that I'm unhappy, where does that go? It connects to certain emotions. I feel sorry for myself. I go into apathy. I want to blame. I want to shame. I want to judge myself. I want to hide. I don't want anybody to know that I have lost the love and light, that
Yeah.
I'm disconnected to this degree. I don't want them to see that. I feel guilt or shame or pain. Some of you go into despair and sorrow. Some of you go into deep sense of I am flawed. See, I am flawed. I knew it. Whatever it is you go down into, it ends in see, I knew it. I am right. And the lesser self says, oh, good. That's safer than exploring something new. Being right is safer than exploring something new. Now, is it safer for you the more? The you that's connected to higher self and soul and God Goddess and knows that there's an optimal future self that is having impact. Is it
No, it's not safer.
safer? No, the you the more
I
doesn't
feel
even think about it. Has happiness as a foundation. My needs are met. I exist. I woke up this morning. That's all I really needed to know. I have a new opportunity to explore reality today. I woke up into it. The lesser self just wants to be right. Because being right that it's so bad or that there's nothing to look forward to, that there is no future, and yet there's always a future, there's always another day.
Hmm.
At what point do you actually turn to the lesser self and say, you know what, you're wrong? You're right that I feel safer being right, but you're wrong that there isn't going to be a beautiful future next because you don't actually know. And every day, I get a new opportunity to start something new. Now, and those are the terms within which the lesser self can hear. Oh, you don't need to be right. Is that what you're trying to tell me? And you the more says, well, it's fun to be right, but it's better to be growing. It's better to have new opportunities. It's better to challenge my belief system so that I get some new experiences, so that I get to express more of what's inside of me and not less.
Yeah.
And basically, the lesser self really just needs to know that you, the more, has taken charge of the meaning of the day. Because when you don't take charge of what it means today to open your eyes and wake up into the world, the lesser self will default automatically into unhappiness and loneliness and powerlessness. That's the chauvinism. So as you really let that in and write it down, am I unhappy? Not really. I don't feel anything. Am I lonely? Well, clearly I'm alone. I'm sitting in my apartment. But are you lonely? Do you have no connection to anyone else in the world? Well, no, I'm going to go meet somebody later, or I'm going to go do the dancing on the Friday, or I'm going to go to group coaching on Thursday. No, I'm not alone. Not really.
Hmm.
And are you powerless right now? No. It might takes some effort, but I can remember that I am a map maker magician, that I'm here to make maps for the world. And I am making some of those maps. And I have made a lot of maps in my past. I have reclaimed the feminine. I am giving birth to new expression of the masculine. I am focused on creating something new. Yes, of course I default into thinking there's something wrong with me, but that's just an old program. I actually know that's not me anymore. So I'm not powerless. And just going through those three things, you don't have to have perfect answers. You don't have to be happy. You don't have to be in communion right away. You will be, but you don't have to be right away. And you don't have to be powerful right away. All you have to do is recognize that you're not those things now. You're not unhappy, and you're not alone, and you're not powerless. The lesser self bases all strategies on those beliefs that you shed long ago. They're not my beliefs anymore. I have different experiences than that. And if there's twinges of emotion, any kind of emotion, it can be guilt, can be shame, can be pain, can be sorrow, whatever, it's time to go to the child or the adolescent with your higher self and say, higher self, help me. He needs something. And I'm really not connected right now enough to know what he needs. But if you help him with his unhappiness and his loneliness and his powerlessness, I already know, because you told me so, that I'll feel better. And I want that benefit. So help me.
Yeah.
And just that simple process, and then go about your day, and then you're going to forget you even did it until later when you start having those wonderful experiences that you create on a routine basis. Oh my gosh, it worked. I'm having a happy moment. I'm having impact. I'm not alone, and I'm not powerless. I have impact. So try that out this week, just for fun. And as you really recognize, okay, there's a part of me that feels cozy and warm and safer if I'm numb. But at what cost? I have to resurrect all those old stories every time. But your backdrop is changing. You have love in your backdrop now.
Yeah.
You have connection, a real connection with higher self in your backdrop now. And as you give those beautiful moments more attention, you will get more of them.
Yeah.
Because that's the way reality works.
But how is the love moments, and I'm thinking that it's connected with the subsiding in a very real way, in that, I mean, what you've just been talking about.
So, what do you get out of thinking you'll never have it again?
Yeah.
What's the payoff? We'll just be blunt about it.
Yeah.
Because you could choose to honor the memory, honor the moment, feel the gratitude, become more from it, promise that you will become more from it. You could.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's slipping away. Oh, I may never have it again. What do you get out of that? Whose attention are you trying to get? Do you
Um,
suppose? Is it your child trying to get your mom's attention or your father's? Is it your adolescent trying to get someone else's attention, a girlfriend or someone else, or a parent or a sibling?
I think it's probably my child, but
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I have much less memories of stuff in my childhood than with my adolescent, but um,
Doesn't matter which one you pick.
right.
I'll never have love again. Probably the adolescent. Because the
Oh,
child is always open to love, always hoping for that next opportunity, has conviction that one day the strategies will work. The adolescent with the wounding decides, darn it, I was wrong.
hmm.
I can't fix that childhood. I can't manipulate enough to fix the childhood. Because in the time of eternal youth, you're filled with soul and you figure out, oh my gosh, I can totally vindicate my childhood.
Hmm.
Except it's about fixing and not changing. And so the wounding comes and reminds you, no, you can't quite fix it. You need something more. And that urge to grow comes from that, that longing. Oh, why can't I just go back to the time of eternal youth when it seemed like I had answers, when I felt like I had all this power?
Hmm.
And you do as you build the access to soul. And building the access means loving yourself more, being willing to create a relationship with higher self, and thereby having a new connection and being available to a possible connection at first. Possible because you don't really know if soul is real at first. But as you begin to do the healing work, you begin to become more aware that, oh, these urges to grow, they're not coming from nowhere. They're not my ego, they're coming from my soul. These urges to love more, to take one more risk on love, comes from soul. That wanting to be in the light that you feel when you're among others who know who they are, as you do when you come to this group. Each of
Hmm.
you bring your light, you as well. You're conscious, I am more. And I need to be in a community of others who know they are more. And then we all disperse and we go into our world and we go make our differences. And we help others wake up. But we can't only be in the world helping others if we don't restore and recognize who we are. And so that is the cycle that you are in. Oh, wow, I fill up, then I go in the world and I share. And I'm still working on not getting depleted. Some of you have that issue. You do not need to be depleted as you give. It's a belief that you hold. Become conscious that I have a belief as I give, I'm depleted. That's the chauvinism. A higher truth in dominion, you give because you're constantly receiving more and you have more than enough to give. And you can't wait to give because you have so much coming in that you have to give it so that you receive more. And that flow is so beautiful. And it is a higher truth. And when you're in that mode, you know it. You're not
Yes.
thinking about where am I going to get the next amount from. You're not manipulating. You're just being a light. And you're just loving spontaneously. Because it is infinite, this source. It is who you are. So when you come from that context, what happens to that voice that says, oh, don't be too much today? They'll take it out of you. See, you did too much last night. That's why you're tired today. Oh, you can't possibly give any more today. So become aware of your patterns of what do you make it mean that you gave so much last night of your true self? And then adjust it so that, oh, the more I give of myself, the more energy I have. If you have a belief that says, if I give, I'm depleted, which many of you have from your childhood, because giving became a manipulation. I got to get my mom's attention. I got to get my dad to be present. It's all the child can do, has to do. I got to get their attention. I know inherently my survival depends on them. Physical survival. As you stand in the here and now and say, you know what? Things might not be perfect right now. There is room for improvement. But I'm here. I woke up this morning. I have ideas. I have access to love. And when I forget, I have access to people who remind me, or beings who remind me. And I know how to feed myself, or I know how to be fed. If some of you need to receive to be fed, good. That's a gift that you receive. Others of you, I'm mobile. I'm grateful for being mobile. Others of you may have lost some mobility. It allows you to be more of something else in your life. And as you heal in your mobility in your imagination, let your imagination be in charge of your physical vehicle. How do you want to feel? What do you want to do with it? And get connected to earth consciousness. And bring that love, that purity of love that is earth consciousness up into your body. Because often, if you're busy disconnecting, you're not feeding the physical vehicle. You're not nourishing and flowing the energy that allows the physical body to regenerate. An easy thing to do is, just as you're drifting off to sleep, ask your higher self to take your body while your light body goes and explores, to take your physical body deep into the earth, into the heart of earth, where it can sleep and recharge and regenerate. And when you wake up, it will be returned to you. There's an agreement, a soul level agreement with earth consciousness. This body is your body for as long as you are in the physical plane. You never have to worry you're going to get accidentally disconnected and therefore you'll lose track of it. No, it doesn't work that way. But see what you can create by having your physical body recharge in a way that serves it. Yes, it's part of the illusion. And yet it is matter. It is of soul. It is a gift for you while you, as a soul, experience the physical plane. A gift from earth consciousness, from the goddess who loves you and knows you are a being of love. And that love heals the body. All right, time to go to the next person. We love you so.
Could could I just say something about depletion? Because I don't feel it is depletion. I feel very much when I'm giving that I've just become so much more. I just have so much in there, and so much of the time I'm thinking, well, how can I get out there and give? Uh,
Yes, and
and I'm thinking I don't know. Yeah.
that thought is what can get you out of bed in the morning. Just let it occur earlier in the day than you have been. Wonderful. An important recognition. Oh my gosh, I actually do believe that. And
Yeah.
that's my experience. Beautiful. We love you so. All right, who is next?
Thank you so much.
Jean-Francois.
I love you, Tara.
Yes, we love you so.
Hey Tara.
Yes, dear one. Where do we
Hey,
begin?
let's let's begin at the beginning. The over the past few weeks, I've been noticing my experience, or I'm not sure how to put it exactly, I'm just gonna say my status with intimacy. And I don't think what I am thinking is true, but what I'm thinking is still affecting me and creating realities. And I want to I know the in the Thursday, I came to the Thursday exercise, and my intent was to strengthen my identity as an author and a healer. But what happened was I got a gift of a space near my heart where the people that matter most to me can be. And they're there. I mean, I have very close interactions with the people that I love that are close to me. And like a belonging, a feeling of belonging. But I also have this feeling that sometimes I fail in a moment where someone is vulnerable because they feel like they belong, but I don't connect with it. And after that moment happens, I spiral down. I feel horrible about myself. It just like I missed an opportunity to connect. And so this past week, that happened with my daughter. Um, she had called me on an evening, and I was having amazing time with one of my best friends, just totally connected, so much light and beauty and comfort and joy and creativity. It was just an amazing conversation, amazing interaction. And at 10 p.m., my daughter called during that, and I was startled because she was completely distraught. She had an interaction with a couple of her friends whilst on this field trip. So she's away from home, and she's spending the night a few nights in a row on this field trip with her classmates. And she told me and she wasn't happy because the her closest friends were in different cabins than where she was. She wasn't in the cabins with them. And she said to me that she had come up with this idea for a joke, but she didn't like it. She didn't feel comfortable saying it, but she'd already told her friends that she had a joke. And then she said she didn't want to say it, and they were angry with her. And so she's very upset and she's crying, and you can just hear the sniffling. And my heart's breaking. I'm just listening to them, oh, sweetie. And just let her kind of go through the whole process and then try to help her find some solutions and let her know this isn't the end of the world and things will work out tomorrow and you'll see there'll be new experiences and that sort of thing. In the end of it, I felt like when our call ended, she wasn't really in a better place. She wasn't a better place. Sorry. She wasn't a better place, but she wasn't done. She was kind of still, I think she still had some kind of figuring out to do. But after I got off the call, I could still feel her for at least the next couple hours till I fell asleep. And oh, sweetie, I could just like I knew where she was at, and I just wish I could have done more. Then I spent the next few days just feeling like I had abandoned her. And that it doesn't actually make sense now that I'm saying it out loud, but I just went through a whole bunch of me feeling abandoned, perhaps, and I didn't know what to do, and so I just kind of took Saturday off or sorry, Sunday off, and I took the time to just sit with myself until I felt like I could uh reach the boundaries of this awful just crushing feeling of abandonment. And I do feel like I reached it. I'm saying, okay, now I've reached it. I can hold this thing and I can do something with it. Um, but I haven't done anything yet. And so I went to pick up my daughter on school on Friday, and just the energy between us was terrible. Nothing had happened afterwards, but it just felt like we weren't connected. And I'm curious what happened there. And I would like to not feel that way ever again. So those are the things. Can we work from here?
Certainly. Okay.
Okay.
So here you are,
Yeah.
uh, doing your best,
Yeah.
and your best is good enough. But
Okay.
along the way, you decide it isn't.
Ah,
And you also decide that you're responsible for her emotions and her processes.
ah.
So as you realize that, oh, well, if I'm in her emotions, I have less ability to create reality.
Mm-hmm.
So just as you can have shame dumped on you, you can make an attempt to take on others' shame.
Yeah.
Shame, pain, same thing.
Okay.
Other people's emotions. And when you do that, it does affect your resonance. Because then you think you need to fix that by processing it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have these feelings, I have these thoughts. I gotta process. I gotta figure this out. This doesn't feel right. Well, as soon as you have that thought, it doesn't feel right. This isn't what I want. The first step is to ask your higher self to lift anything you took on from someone else, whoever it was.
Hmm.
Could have been her emotion, or it could be the kids that were pressuring her, or whatever was going on in her was a product of an environment, and you only knew about the environment because of what she told you and what you felt from her. And for many of you who are empathic, you think that being loving is, I'll just take it on and then she'll be all right.
Yeah.
Except it makes you less capable of being who you are, because now you are this other emotion, this is other complex of thought and feeling and behavior that isn't really even yours. But you made a promise on some energetic level. You created a contract, you might say, between you and her that, oh, I'll fix it. I'll fix it, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Which then gives her the message that there's something wrong with her.
Oh, great.
So we're being very blunt about this so that you can get over yourself more quickly
Thank you.
and be free to be present for her. And we also congratulate you on being loving,
Mm.
that your luminous intent is love. I wanted to make it better for her. I want to protect her from pain. I don't want her to have what I had. And that is beautiful. And so as you recall all the energy of whatever you put on her about how she can't cope, and she's less than because she's going through this, and that you have to come in and fix it because that's what she's asked you to do. Well, she asked me to help her. Yeah, but you also know who she really is, that she is love and light,
Mm-hmm.
and that this is an illusion, and that she's more than capable. In many ways, she's freer to create than you are at times, because she doesn't have the depth of past that you have.
Right.
And so as you and we understand a parent-child dynamic is in itself a life lesson. Two
Mm.
souls agreed, we're going to play these parts for each other, and it's going to be for life. So it's going to be really important. And we're going to really get to a point where we honor each other on all levels of our being. I'm going to see you, and I'm going to let you see me. Now, as you really, we're saying this in this particular way because we want you to compare it with, what were my thoughts really? What was I really feeling? And why did it stay with me this long?
Yeah.
I really wasn't free to be available to her in that way. As soon as I thought what she was asking for was for me to rescue her, I couldn't hear it any other way. It's my programming. It's what I think will work, and it usually does until it doesn't. So as you be more loving to yourself and say, oh my gosh, that's just what I always do. I think I need to fix it. I think it's my job. She's my daughter. See, the world agrees it's my job. I'm her dad.
Hmm.
And I have a memory of not having had that myself. If only someone had done that for me. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff you did do that's quite beautiful. You listened with love. You gave her a chance to express herself in spite of the fact that you were having your own beautiful evening. You knew context. You understood she's away from home. This is not a time not to pick up the phone. In your love for her, you showed up. You knew this is important. She wouldn't be calling if it weren't.
Yeah.
So as you honor yourself and the love that you expressed for her, I did that really well. The only place where I slipped was I went into fixing mode. I just did it so automatically. It's just what I do. But it's not who I am anymore. I don't need to fix reality. I just need to change.
Hmm.
So she helped bring up in you, just as souls do, she brought up in you what you needed to work on this week.
Yes. I see that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you understand, this moment in time and space is not what was triggered. And that's a difficult one because, well, I need to make it make sense in the here and now, why it happened now. No. A trigger occurred because you're ready to release or heal something. What was the
Yeah.
trigger? As you look back, when was the earliest time I felt this way? Powerless to change something, ineffective in my advice, whatever it was. My love wasn't enough, perhaps. As you look to see, what did you make it mean, and what was the trigger, and what was the earliest time?
I'm trying to find the earliest time. I mean, it's been a long time ago. I'm a child when this has happened.
Yes. It doesn't have to be a perfect memory. It just has to be a sense of,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I've carried this for a long time.
Yes. Yes. I've carried this for a long time. I keep seeing the beach and the sand, and I don't know why, but
Yeah.
but I'm like 3 or 4. It's pretty
Yeah.
young.
So if your eyes aren't already closed, close them and have your higher self come join you on the beach. You, the adult self, and the little boy.
Okay.
And just in the presence of higher self, ask him, what do you need? And let him answer.
Yeah, he just he just needs to be picked up and held.
Yeah. Does he want you to do that, or does he want your higher self?
No, he wants his dad to do that.
Okay. So ask your higher self to bring forth the loving dad, the one that can be present, not the one that ignored him or didn't catch on to him. Let him have the healed father, the whole and complete
Ah,
father.
yeah, how that happened. Oh God, I've just never seen my dad like that. That's really interesting.
Yeah. To receive it, to witness it being received by him is a healing in itself.
Yeah.
And what does the little boy need to know? What does he need to hear about himself?
That he's loved. That he just, yeah, that he's loved. That he's magical. That he's seen. That what he's thinking and feeling matters.
Yeah. And what does he want of his father? What a little boy would want who's at the beach.
Yeah, to play, to
Yeah.
play with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this the father that can get down in the sand and play with him?
Well, this one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you understand, oh, my father would never have done that. He just didn't like sand or
right,
just
sure.
couldn't deal with the
Yeah,
beach scene or whatever. Was too busy with life, with his own stuff. But
yeah.
this father, he understands how to show up. And when I watch, I know I have that too in me. I learned that because I didn't get it. I actually know it already.
Oh,
I know how important it is.
oh, thank you. That's really affecting my heart.
So let your higher self tonight as you go to sleep heal that part of you that never got it.
Yeah,
Now your little boy's good. He's got the father. He's got the beach. The playful scene that he wanted. The knowing he's magical. The knowing he's loved.
yeah.
The knowing he's worth spending time with.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. And just let that healing in you fill up. Let that heart fill up. And get a sense of what did I decide was gonna heal that pain? How was I gonna heal the pain that I felt for not getting that?
Oh, that's more mysterious.
Yeah, that requires some soul searching
Yeah,
to sit with higher self and say, I know it's done. I know I'm healed, but I kind of want to know what I set down. I kind of want to know what strategy I picked up to survive that so that I can choose whether to continue it or put it down.
right.
You're right on track. Beautiful.
So, thank you so much, Tara.
Yes, we love you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. And now, when you think of your daughter, what are you present to?
What's the question again? Sorry.
When you think of your daughter now,
Yes.
what are you present to?
Her beauty, her light. Yes, and she just has so much of it.
Yes. And when you're going to see her again, what are you going to tell her?
I I have to admit, I think I'm still planning that. I don't know. I thought about that while we were
How about
talking.
beginning with, what do you want to hear from me?
Okay. That's great. That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't know yet.
I don't. Yeah.
You want to include her in that quest. Let her ask her, what do you want to hear from me? Because I'm so full of love for you.
No, that's beautiful. Oh,
All right.
thank you for that last part. That mattered a lot to envision the future with my daughter. Thank
Yes,
you.
new ways of being that come of being loving, different from what you learned. You learned how to protect and defend yourself from hurt or pain or sorrow.
Right.
But it's a new day. And now it's all about, okay, what does it really mean to be loving? Free
Yeah.
of the past. It's an exploration. Let it be fun. Let it be new, and be okay with, I don't actually know perfectly how to do it.
Right.
Because there is that pressure
Yep.
that is put on parents
Okay.
that says, well, you should already know. But the reality is, you were never taught. How can you know? Now, along the way, as a spiritual adult, as a map maker, magician, your focus has been on learning how to be more loving and healing yourself of that pain, of that shame, of that past. And so you are, by definition, already more loving than the average person
Mm.
who has not had the tools that you have. But allow it to be a fun quest.
Yeah.
Question. What does it mean to be more loving? What does it mean to be aligned with love in such a way that I'm spontaneously connecting and exploring and willing to ask and willing to grow and willing to be contributed to? And in the context of your daughter, that's so easy because she leads with love.
Yeah, she does.
And so do you.
Thank you. Yeah, she does.
Wonderful. You're right on track.
Thank you so much, Tara.
All right. We love you.
Thank you.
And John, who is next?
Well, Monica, but she doesn't seem to be here.
All right. If she pops in later, we can add her.
Okay.
And so who is next?
Hello?
Ah, there she is.
Hello? Oh, hi.
Yes,
Oh,
dear.
thank you, Sean. Oh,
Where do we begin?
hello, you said. Oh, yes, thank you. Tara, I need to ask you, why is it when I was younger, I imagined the world to be easier and I was thinking so many wonderful things, go, 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 go. And now that I'm a little bit older, I don't do it. I start something and then I don't do it, and I'm getting fed up with myself.
So what a
I'm
wonderful
burnout.
question.
I know I got love coming in.
Wonderful awareness that you have. Yes. So we're just going to intervene right here because we don't want you to lose track of this question that you made of how is it? I remember when I was young, it was so easy.
Yeah.
And now I feel a bit more careful, more burdened, more disconnected perhaps. And that occurs in the adolescence when the wounding comes, the soul comes in and clips your wings. Not for no reason, but during the time of eternal youth, in your adolescence, there was a time when you were so expanded and you really truly knew you could create anything, that the world is yours, that it is for you to contribute to, for you to dream up. Except you are in the fullness of your soul's energy and you're still carrying whatever happened in the past. As beautiful as the memory is of your child, there's still some stuff in there, some old programming that needs to be cleaned up. And in addition to the childhood are all the past lives you've committed to bringing home also. So the wounding occurs as a form of clipping your wings, falling from the sky, suddenly realizing, I'm not as capable yet. You don't think the word yet, you just think I'm not capable, and it ends there. And then that becomes who you become. I'm not as magical as I thought I was. I don't have as much power as I imagined I could have. I'm not as good or as true or as loving as I hoped I would be. Whatever it is, each of you have your version of it that comes out of the wounding. And the wounding wasn't because your soul turned you away. Your wounding was an invitation from soul for you to look within, to Let go of the outer world that was impacting you so much. You were so caught in, if I could just get them to love me out here, if I could just belong, if my peers would just pay attention to me and tell me I'm okay. If I just didn't have that sorrow of failure or that shame and pain from my childhood, whatever it was. But as you recognize, no, it was a moment when my soul came and said, look, enough of out here, time to go within. And so we've been working with each of you to really strengthen that sense of self inside of you. And just knowing who you truly were as a child, the free child, the magical child, was very present for you. Make sure she is still alive and well in this, in her time, but in this space, in a parallel universe right next to you, that if you were to look over and check on your inner child, she would be there having fun, dreaming new dreams, thinking of all sorts of new fun ways to create reality with her imaginary friends, being magical, whatever that meant to her. So that you in the now can relax and know, yeah, that's the way it really is. And what am I focused on today in my reality? As you say, I'm finding it really hard to even think in those terms. But your soul is urging you to remember, that's who I am. That's how I create reality. With harm to none, with elegance and ease. To remember who I am. Okay, so you wanted to ask something more. Go ahead.
Yes. So with my love, he's looking for me, right? I told him where I'm at, but he's still looking for me where I'm not at. Excuse me. And so I've been, hopefully, I'm not sure, like, should I wait for him to catch up, because he's looking, and so beautiful what he
So
thinks.
here's the thing about reality.
Yeah.
When you look to see, when you imagine what you want, and when you're expecting and waiting, you're no longer living in your imagination the you that has accomplished your relationship or has accomplished your goal already. You've already decided, I don't really have anything to do with how it comes about. It's just going to happen, no matter who I'm being. But the anxiety you feel and the fear that you feel is your higher self telling you, look, if you aren't generating a sense of desire, imagination, and expectation for what you do want, and build that belief that of the you that has it already, connect with the optimal you, the you that has that love already, is being in love, is being worthy of love. See, there's no question that you are worthy of love. But if there's a question in you, then you will create an illusion that reminds you that's what you're thinking. That's what you're feeling. And so that means going back in time. When did I feel this feeling of being inadequate for love? When did I first have a fear that I'm not going to get what I want? When did I get the message I'm not enough for the love I expect? So that's digging into some pain. That's digging into some shame. And we don't want you to stay there very long, but we want you to be willing to change that, to ask your higher self to lift the shame that came from a parent, most likely, or it could be even further back, could be ancestral. Take it as far back as it goes, however many generations got the message that their love is not enough, or whatever the sentence is for you. And have your higher self lift it, not just from you, but for every generation, until it comes to the point where the person can take responsibility for their emotion, a decision they made. And as you do that, what you're going to feel is this sense of freedom. Oh, I don't have to live that script anymore. I can write a new story. I can see my way to writing this differently than I have been. I've been trying and trying and trying, and sometimes I feel euphoric and other times I feel down in the dumps, but I'm way out of balance. I've lost the sense that I create my own reality. And we assure you, there is no love at the end of that story. Because if you're looking for someone else out here to let you know that you are enough, then you don't really yet know it. And your higher self will not let you write and live that script for too long. Your higher self will keep bringing forth new opportunities to dredge up stuff that's in the way of you and knowing you are worth loving. The source of love is not your thoughts. The source of love is, as you know, from God Goddess, from your soul, that activates your spirit, from your higher self, who's with you always. And when you're in that place of love, that depth of love, you are open and available to receiving love and giving love. It's a theme this evening. What does it really mean? I thought I was doing it right. I've been visualizing, I've been hoping, I've been supercharging and know it's on the way, and why isn't it working? And the higher truth is always in that intensity that is in the question, why isn't it working? And we want you to answer that, not with information, not with knowing, because you don't know it yet, but with another question instead. Ask, who am I really? To activate that triangle of divinity so that you can receive the knowing of your worth that is a gift from God and Goddess. So that you can receive the knowing of the love that is given from God and Goddess, that you are that love, that worth, you and every other soul that you will ever meet. And when you relax into that and know, I don't have to do anything to earn love. It is who I am. It's for me to imagine what joy I will feel when I get to share who I am with someone else who also knows that they are loved, that they are liked, that they have worth. So important to begin to imagine at that level the relationships that are meaningful to you. Just as Jean-Francois, he knows, he's aware, he's conscious of the love and the light that his daughter is most of the time. But there's a template around what it means to be a parent and what it means to be the perfect parent. And it doesn't question. It doesn't ask questions. It just gives. Is that enough? It's not waiting to respond. What do you want to hear? What would it mean for me to really show you how much I love you? How would you like to hear it? So as you sit with that, oh, I've been trying to force it. And we're not saying give up on your imagination. We're saying imagine more. Immerse yourself fully in it and learn from it and grow from it. And ask your higher self and your light shadow to gift you what you need that you're ready for this future that you are dreaming. I thought my love was limited, but I'm finding I got more than enough to give. It's not limited to just one person. I can love many. That's what I am. That is who I am. That's my destiny. All right. Does that help?
Tara, yes, everything you said, I follow. Willing to love people, but I choose my love, and I like conscious of the energy. I know the obstacle, what was keeping me there. I felt like I wasn't enough for him. Because this is the first one. It's a shock. And he has proven a lot of love. You see, just look at him. I'm sure his office is his house. He has pictures of me. And he almost cut up, and I stepped back because I felt what you said. But I willing to accept, and this is the first opportunity that comes, and he came free will, and he understands that I have a gift. He knows. I don't know how much he knows, but he knows I have something. I know we all have it, but we're all different levels. I bring him gracefully. So
Beautiful. Yes, and in that
please.
Is the knowing that it's me who needs to know it. I need to really own it and claim it and be it. Be the gift of love that I am. That's what keeps me strong. That's what keeps me focused and anchored in the physical plane, creating new realities. And out of that, you get to receive more. You get the acknowledgement, you get the accolades, and you get, even more importantly, you get the intimacy, which is what you are looking for. How do I take this, which is acceptable, into something more intimate? And what the way to intimacy is caring. It matters to me how he feels. It matters to me how I feel. And in the caring, the self-expression grows. The willingness to have compassion when someone's not there yet. The willingness to have compassion when you're not there yet, as you have been expressing. Well, I had to step away. I couldn't handle it. It was too much. And now I want to return, but you're not returning as who you were before. Let yourself know that the me that is showing up now is more conscious, is more aware. And therefore, I have, by definition, more to give. And when I stand in that confidence and in that courage, the way that I present my love is a beautiful expression. You don't have to censor how you present yourself anymore. Does that help?
Yes, so beautiful. I feel in my heart, and I went deep thought, and I will think about this more and more. I have
You're
a
right
link,
on track.
Tara.
You're right on track.
Thank you, Tara. I love you.
Yes, we love you so. Wonderful. All right, John, who is next?
It looks like Linda Joy has left the building. Patricia.
Yes. Hi, Tara. Thank you.
Yes, dear one. Where do we begin?
Thank you very much. I had a really amazing experience over the weekend. Um, I participated in an art show, but I had the opportunity to do a demo. And what I chose to do was actually a mini workshop in which I guided people through creating a piece of artwork. And I invited Lazarus to be with me, and I did it at a pace that was not just getting through the exercise. It was really paying attention to the pace that the people participating were setting. And it was miraculous. Each of them really dove into this thing, really engaged everything. They were so proud of what they had done and so transformed in the experience that they went around and started showing people what they had done. And they were saying, and then she told me to do this. And then I did that. And then she said to do this. And I did that. I mean, it was fabulous. So anyway, as a takeoff of that, I could see the dream that I've had for a long time, that what I really want to do is to help people connect with themselves in this time of way too much information, much of which is so disheartening, and how influenced we are by social media. I really see it in myself. If I read somebody else's opinion right away, I'm thinking, oh yeah, well, maybe that's true. We've lost our ability to think and to feel. And that's what I want to generate in people. Is I want to offer, not generate, but I want to offer this opportunity.
Beautiful.
So that
yes.
people can do that. So that's one thing. And in addition,
we just want to say one quick thing before you say the next part, and that is, don't combine social media and your observations about social media and what you're doing in your workshop.
Right. I didn't mention social media. I didn't say anything about what I just said.
Yes. What we're saying, we're not saying don't mention it on social media. We're saying the opinions you have about social media, the judgments that are there, understand that that's one activity. As I scroll through social media, I read stories, and then I understand how much impact the meaning has on me. End of story.
Right. And I didn't
the
say
workshop is about who you truly are. Now, the social media can become that for you as well. It can become where you share, well, this is the impact it had on me. And we believe you already do that very beautifully. You tell your stories, show your artwork, you allow it to be a vehicle to show this is who I am. This workshop, as you say, it was amazing for me to flow energy into a space and to awaken in these individuals their inherent ability to create something new.
Yeah.
And how wonderful is that?
And it was so much fun.
Yes.
To see what people created and how they talked about it.
Yes. And to know that it was your spark and your patience and your attention to detail and even your mastery over the artwork itself that allowed their experience to be so elegant and easy. So much fun and joy was created from having your guidance.
I have a hard time letting that in. I just figure it was Lazarus
because that's why we're saying it. And the co-creating with Lazarus, how fun is that?
Yeah, it was very.
Yes. To
And then,
really bring the more real of you into the physical plane in a way that is easy and fun.
yeah, it was so easy.
Yes. All
And
right.
they
Go ahead.
and they the insights they had about themselves. And one of the participants happened to be probably the future daughter-in-law of another artist who was in this location. And afterwards, that artist came up to me and said, "It's amazing what she got out of it." I was so happy that she was able to go into the unknown and experiment and find things. And she was talking to me about it. And I just like, I could almost cry. It touched me so much
Yes.
that people had these experiences, you know?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. And this one guy, an older man that I thought was just going to sit there and watch, and he thought he was going to sit there and watch, but he decided to participate. And he said, when we were finished, he said, "Well," he said, "that made this visit all worthwhile. This was the best thing that happened today." I was like, "What?" Anyway,
Yes,
so
because he got to look inside himself and create something new.
yes,
Yeah, you honored who he truly is.
right. Yeah,
And you created the space, the safe space for people to explore that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It,
uncommon.
it was lovely. It was just great. So here I am on this high. And in addition, I sold some paintings, which I really wasn't focused on that at all. And some people have already collected my work, came back to look and stuff, and well, whatever. So I'm really on this high, and I can see that I have a vision. I can see a future. I can
Absolutely.
see so clearly. And in addition to this, in the last week, people have called and just have seen my work elsewhere, and they've just ordered it. They haven't bought originals, but they've ordered prints, and that's just happening. Okay, so all this happy, happy. So
Beautiful.
then this evening, I have a phone call with my friend Mike, and he says hello, and then he said, "Do you know what he's done now? He's taking $1.7 billion of our tax money, and he's going to pay the people who stormed the Capitol." And Mike's going on and on and on. Huge amounts of this. And I just didn't say anything. And after he'd gotten this all out, and I was very quiet, he said, "Well, I guess I don't want to ruin your day. So now that I've gotten this said, you can go back to your happy place." And we get off the phone, and I am like, shit. But this is not a one-time thing. This is an ongoing thing. Number one, I don't want to be totally not conscious of what's going on, of the corruption, of the incredible corruption, blatant. Um, I don't, and I feel the fear, my personal fear about, where is this all going? But then I remind myself this is part of the destruction. It's necessary. I get myself back in balance, but it dilutes. I allowed it to dilute my enthusiasm, and I start to question myself, is what my dream is just really even significant? Does it really matter? What am I so it anyway, but I don't want how can I'd like some guidance on how I can respond to Mike and not dilute myself in the process, and not go into blaming him, and not go into judging him, and I just want him to go someplace else and dump his garbage. I don't want it to be dumped on me, frankly. So anyway, your feedback.
All right. So in that context of let's step back a bit, as we often ask people to do, step back out of the set so that you're watching the scene of you taking the phone call or having the meeting, and then he's blasting, and you see your energy diminish.
Yeah.
That's an illusion. You don't know it when you're in it, but it's a script that's running. It's an illusion. He's responding to the script. He's showing up, saying the words, and you're having the reaction, and that's the script.
I get it.
Yeah. So what's possible then is, well, certainly you could say, let's have different kind of conversations. However, if you don't know you're writing the script, then that can come off as there's something wrong with you and you better change or I'm not going to love you.
Right. That's exactly where I've been going.
Yes. And that's not very helpful or productive because, well, if you really do love him and you know that he loves you, then really it's about taking the conversation into a different domain of love so that you can each be yourselves, which it appears that you are each allowing yourselves to be yourself. However, for some reason, this intensity and this expression of him of reminding you inconveniently in the euphoria that there's a world out there that isn't complying with your own euphoria,
Yeah.
that then threatens your euphoria. How can I be in my joy when there are these problems out here? That's the conflict.
That's right. And that's my script. And he's just playing that role.
Yes. So as you recognize, oh, I have an issue with having my joy if everybody else isn't also in joy.
Symbiotic guilt.
Yes.
I mean, I laugh, but it's not
Now realize that that decision wasn't the decision of a spiritual adult who really is resilient and can handle and change reality at will. The you that needs everybody else to have joy also so that you can have yours is a certain age. How old were you?
Oh, gee.
Or how young were you is more the point.
Yeah. I think it was pretty solid by the time I was six or seven. Certainly seven, but it started.
Yes. Makes
it
sense.
Form around age 6.
And who wasn't in joy when you were, that gave you that message?
My mother. My mother actually was never in much joy until much later in her life. Early on, way before she married my father, she was, funny story. I went to her, I wanted to go with her to her 40th high school reunion, 40th or 50th or something. And we go, and at the time, I don't know, I was younger, and I looked around at all these old people, and they were coming up to my mother and greeting her. And my mother would introduce me to people, and they kept saying to me, "Oh, is your mother still so funny? She was just always such a hoot." And I'm thinking, who's that? Who are they talking about? Because she was miserable. She was unhappy all the time until we were all emancipated, until we were out of the house and she and my father were doing other things socially. She was miserable. So I think I probably figured out much younger that it wasn't safe for me to be happy and to play.
Yes.
It just wasn't. I think I was only like probably 3, And I would go off into my head in really visiting fairy. I was so much into fairy.
Beautiful.
And I
Yeah.
was
So your child found a resource, discovered, oh, I can just exit the scene.
I did often.
Yeah. But when you came back in, what happened if you shared what you just did, what you just experienced? Or did you just not share?
I didn't share, but because I came back into a very restricted, very prescribed kind of setting that of course didn't fit very well with me at all.
Yes.
And so there was just constant friction,
Well,
constant.
so we know that you have done a lot of work with your little girl. So you
Mm,
just need to go and say, you know what, you don't need to live there anymore.
yeah.
I want you to be free to visit with the fairies, and I want you to have the joy of telling me all the stories, or telling whoever you want, your new parents, who adore you and love you and are always attentive. Now, we understand this is not the childhood you had,
Mhm.
but it's not, your child doesn't need to stay in the past. Child needs to be in the new reality and
Oh,
be all of who she is.
so I think how I'll handle, yeah, because I've given her new parents and it hasn't stuck. So I think what I can do with her is imagine her and say, let's dream together. Where would you like to meet your new parents? Who
Yeah,
are they? And let her do the imagining. And
beautiful.
I will join her in that.
Yeah, and make sure your higher self's there with you so that you yourself trust the process. She
Because
has
for
she has no problem trusting your higher self is there. But as you bring your higher self along, and the two of you dream in the safety of your higher self watching over you, and then see, and when you come out of the dream, say, okay, how do you want it to be, and let her share it.
yes, because every time I've given her new parents and we do these things, there's something inside of me that's saying, yeah, but it's not real. Yeah, but it's not real.
Yes,
I
very
have
very common. But as you, the spiritual adult, really understand, no, what's at stake here is me being able to stay in my joy. And then it doesn't matter if Mike calls me up and tells me a story about what's going on in the world that he's upset about. I don't have to relinquish my joy.
Mhm.
I can listen with love and say, great, what are you going to do about it?
I do that. And he goes, well, there's nothing I
Or,
can do.
or what do you want me to dream for the world? What would
Right.
be a good solution? So you start yourself. You may not share it with him if you don't have that level of intimacy around your spirituality. But if you could just for yourself say, you know what? He's telling me about this stuff for a reason. It's part of my illusion. How do I feel about it being there? Well, I don't really like it. It's disrupting my joy. What would I like to create instead? And start bringing in that energy, that resonance of the new world, of the dominion, of the optimal future self who has it already. And it's hard to imagine that, but as you just do the best you can to see yourself in dominion, standing in your authority, in your individuality, enjoying the fun and the magic of co-creating reality, co-creating a whole new reality. What do you want to include in it?
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, I don't want that, but I know what I do want. And just really generate that resonance. And then notice what's changing in the news I'm picking up. It's not going to be perfect. There's still going to be chaos. There's still going to be the destruction that's happening of the old fabric. But you're also going to see more hope. You're going to see more light. You're going to experience more joy. And it's going to be easy for you to focus on what personal reality do I want to participate in? I got a taste of it this weekend in the course that the mini course that I generated came from me. I created it. And then they showed up and they immersed in creativity, they brought forth their own. How magical is that? And so you can continue to dream. How do I want to do more of this? How do I want to really know that I have impact and that my joy matters?
Yeah. I mean, I can just see so many. I mean, I see myself traveling with this. I see myself giving talks. Uh, the workshop that I had written has so much good material in it, things that I hadn't really given myself permission to say before that I was able to say in this group. It's very metaphysical.
Beautiful.
But I'm not like shoving it down anybody's face. It's, I read this stuff and I thought, God, this is really good. Who wrote this? But
Wonderful.
it was just so much fun. But I get what you're saying. I'm changing my resonance and yeah.
And committing to holding on to your joy. So the little girl didn't have the permission.
Right.
In that constricted environment. So as you heal her completely of it, and you have the means to do that now, you got the information from your higher self. Let's do it this way. That's going to work really well. That will anchor the feeling, the trust that it's real.
Yeah, because she has such an imagination. So she'll be able to do this and she'll love doing it.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for the clarity.
Yes, we love you so.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
You're right on track. Wonderful. All right, John, anyone else?
No, nobody's. Yeah. So I think we're done.
All right, wonderful. And so we thank each of you who spoke this evening on behalf of the group. There's something for each of you in the conversation. And we thank you for bringing your light and your love to support the resonance that allows the processes to go so deep, to be more vulnerable, and to trust that the love will be there as you share is so important. All right, and so we go for now. We go with love and peace as we bring Katrina back.
Thanks.
Until next time.
Thanks, Tara.
Thank you so much, Sarah.